new watch, new babe.
What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen. I'm back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Now listen, one of the scariest things I think for me that I worry about, and I blame y'all. Yeah. That's that finger again. That's my mama finger. But I blame y'all. The reason I blame y'all that I have this phobia is because y'all got me into these like creepy stories, horror videos, scary videos, different things like that, paranormal activity videos. It's y'all. So now I have this phobia, right? That one day I'm gonna take a pic. Somebody's gonna snap a pic of me and I'm gonna have this picture. And when I look back at the picture, it's gonna be some paranormal being behind me, like photo bombing my picture. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's gonna bother me. Cause what was the name of that movie back in the day where the dude, you know what I'm saying? He had to snap the picture. She was on his neck one time. Like, it was crazy. And that's my problem. So the next video we are getting into, right, is 10 photos with creepy back stories, right? Every story, every picture they say is worth 1,000 words, blah, blah, blah. But these photos have creepy backstories. We're gonna check these out, all right? So keep doing what y'all doing, man. For everybody who new, come in, shut the door, sit down, and hit the subscribe button. Let's go.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 photos with creepy backstories. Every day millions of photos are taken, so it's no surprise that sometimes people capture something
See? What I'm telling you. That would be my problem, because now I gotta spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder.
But they didn't mean to in photographs. Prepare to be totally stunned by these 10 photos with seriously creepy backstories to them. But before that, be sure to subscribe to my new channel, The Crafty. Anyone who subscribes will be shouted out at the end of the next Top 10s video, so leave a comment saying you did. Coming in at number 10, we have Samurai Ghost. In 2014, a man named Martin Springle was on vacation in Japan. He was walking around on a cliff with his young daughter and wife. Eventually, they reached an area where you could get a good view of the coast. So Martin decided to snap a photo of the scenery with his daughter in the foreground. It was all normal and him and his daughter and wife moved on with their day. However, a little while later, Martin noticed something strange in the photo in between his daughter's legs. In between her legs were a pair of legs dressed in samurai clothing. A pair of black samurai boots could easily be made out. He assumed a man was standing behind her as the photo was being taken, but he just didn't remember it. But his daughter and wife confirmed nobody else was on the cliff that day, and unless the samurai was super short, his body and head should also be behind the girl, right? Martin sent it to a friend, who then posted it on Reddit, and it went viral. After that, many people accused Martin of photoshopping it, but an expert said this photo was unedited. It still remains a mystery, but people are convinced this was the ghost of a samurai.
Look at the feet, bro. Look at the position of the feet. Like, that person's legs, like, that's tall. Like, that person would have been taller than her, just based upon the lower end of his body. Like, I don't know, it's throwing me off, bro. That's weird. But in this day and age, can you think it's not Photoshop? That's always gonna be in the back of our mind, man. People are getting good at Premiere, Lightroom, Photoshop, all those different apps and different things that they can use, those programs, to do what they do. But this one here, I don't know, bro. I don't know. How did they not notice that? That's what's hard for me. How does the family not notice that? If, you know what I'm saying? If people gonna say, I don't know, man. I'm confused.
Samurai. Next up is Helping Hand. One of the most innocent kinds of photos are family photos. They're usually pretty corny, and the only scary thing about them is if they end up on your parents' Facebook for everyone to see. But this family photo is a little different. We see a normal smiling family sitting happily on a swing. Nothing seems untoward and there's no legs of a samurai ghost anywhere in sight.
Whoa, y'all saw that? Go back.
Sitting happily on a swing. Nothing seems untoward and there's no legs of a samurai ghost anywhere.
Does it look like me, or does it look like her socks are blending in with the background, which would kind of give off like a green screen type of feel? I didn't notice that the first time. Look at her socks. So whatever the background they use, it's like the socks faded in. Like if I use a green screen on, you know what I'm saying, the channel, and I have on a green shirt, then my torso is gonna kind of disappear. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna leave me with the effect of like a floating head, just moving around. You know what I mean? Look at her socks right now, and then look at the grass, how it blends in. That's Photoshop. I'd be willing to bet now that I saw that. In the beginning, I was kind of thrown off. I was weirded out. I couldn't really make up my mind. But when he flashed back to it and I saw them socks, yeah, dead giveaway kind of.
In sight. But there is something very, very wrong with this photo, which is bound to creep you out. Look at the little girl on the far left, and you'll see a mysterious hand around her. You might think this is one of her family members, but look at everyone's hands and arms, and they're in sight. The hand appears to belong to another child as it's pretty small, but clearly other than the kids in the photo, there are no children in sight. The family say they have no idea who this could be, but it's rumored this was taken near a haunted house, and some say the hand belongs to a ghost of a young girl. Who do you think could be behind this mysterious hand? Next,
I don't know, that's the second time I've seen something like that, but before it was like an older style photo and you couldn't identify the hand. Where these hands coming from, man? I don't want nobody hands on me.
Next up is the unexpected passenger. This is one unsettling photograph which seems normal at a first sight, but the creepy thing about this image was only discovered by the photographer after he took it. The photo was taken by a guy called Roy in Chico, California. He saw an abandoned truck and thought it would make a good image. He snapped it and then moved on with his day. But later, after the image was developed, he saw something bizarre. There was a face in the window of the truck. When the man took the photo, nobody was around, and he even closely inspected the truck and remembers it being empty. The man was actually a police officer, so he took it into the station to have it checked out. It was examined and they found it was 100% genuine. The face seems to be of a woman and looks very ghostly. The woman actually looks scared in the image, which makes this all the more unsettling. Next up,
maybe that's like a spirit, like crying for help or reaching out for help or trying to. The man was a police officer, so maybe they could have been trying to point to a clue to a murder or something like that. Y'all see how weird my brain goes? That's why I don't need to look at stuff like this.
Next up is Redbox Exorcist. We all probably use Netflix on our computers or with an app on our cell phones. But believe it or not, Redbox used to be kind of like Netflix, where you would rent a movie from a box and then mail it back. One woman appears to be doing this, and it was caught on a surveillance camera just above the box. Now, returning a movie may sound mundane, but in this image, the woman's eyes have been rolled back and her head is tilted all the way back too. Now, I don't know what movie she was renting, but if it was The Exorcist, that would make a lot of sense, as she looks like Regan McNeil. I hope there's nothing wrong with her, but the camera was hidden, so she wasn't doing this to mess around. Maybe she just found out she was getting a late fine and freaked out. What do you think could be behind this woman's weird?
Why? There's no reason she need to be pointing. It's nothing on the ceiling, bro. Don't do that. I don't even care if, like, don't do that around me at all. Like, not on our first date, not on our 125th date, don't do that, or it'll be our last date, bro. I promise you that there. No. And then you're gonna think I'm asleep beside you? You out your mind. Look at her. No. What next? What next? She just gonna start vomiting out the mouth and start shaking and spinning and eyes gonna roll back into her head. No.
Good photo. Is she really possessed, or is there some kind of bizarre explanation for this? I can just imagine the security guy watching this being terrified.
Yes.
I sure know I would be if I saw somebody doing this on camera. Next up is coincidence. This photo is creepy, but instead of a ghost hanging around, it's got a nice explanation. That's right, this mysterious photo has actually been explained. In 1994, Nick Wheeler's mom snapped a photo of him playing on a beach in the UK when he was only 6 years old. The photo was totally normal for 20 years, but in 2014, 20 years after the image was taken, it became creepy. Nick Wheeler married Amy Maiden when he was 26 and she was 25. They were looking through old photos at their wedding when Nick's mom pulled out this image and blew everyone away. The reason why is because in the background of the image was the woman Nick married, Amy. It's crazy to think these guys were playing right next to each other as kids, and then 20 years later they were getting married. When they found out, it made the news, and they returned to have a look at the same beach the photo was taken at all those years ago.
That's crazy. That's similar to me and Queen. Like, me and Queen was around each other most of our lives and didn't know it. Like my mom's sponsored Queen back in the day when Queen was running around doing modeling and pageants. And I didn't know it. My mom didn't know it either until we met and hooked up. And she put two and two together that she was the girl from back in the day that she had sponsored. So it was like real weird. You know what I'm saying?
Next up is Cowboy. This photo isn't from the Old West. It was actually taken as a promotional campaign for a movie. They wanted to get the mountains of the Arizona desert in the background, but they caught something unexpected in the background as well. If you look over to the right of the man, you'll see a boy in the bushes dressed in cowboy gear. The photo was actually taken at an old cemetery for cowboys, which has led some to say the figure in the background is a ghost. This kind of makes some sense, as he's very bright, but experts say this could just be the old camera. At first, the man who took the photo thought it was a rock, but they returned to the same spot and there was no rock. Many said this was fake, but experts have looked at the image and the film reel and they say it's totally real. Is this a real ghost or spirit caught on camera, or is it something else? I know catching a ghost on camera seems unlikely, but I can't really come up with any other explanations for this.
We gotta start paying attention to the cameras. We never look at the camera. What are they doing with these cameras that are allowing these cameras to kind of snapshot into another world, another dimension like that and capture someone? Let's shift our attention from the photos and what we're seeing to the actual device that's taking the photos and who's making them and what are they doing? What are they doing to us? We never really thought about that. See where my brain is starting to go?
Next up, we have the Real Annabelle. We all know the seriously creepy haunted doll named Annabelle. She's featured in movies such as The Conjuring and Annabelle. But did you know the dolls in those movies are based on a real-life doll? In 1970, a mother...
Of course it would be based upon a real-life doll. Of course it would be.
But did you know the dolls in those movies are based on a real-life doll? In 1970, a mother purchased a doll for her 4 kids. Just a few weeks into having the doll, it started to act a little strange. Firstly, it began to glow, but then it began moving and appearing in the kids' dreams. After that, it began moving around the room and grabbing onto the kids' necks. Sometimes it would even grab their arms and legs and pull them out of their beds. The doll was a Raggedy Ann doll, and some said it was haunted. It was taken out of the home after things went too far, and a cross was placed above it in a museum. It was also kept behind glass with a sign saying, "Warning, positively do not open." I couldn't agree with that sign more. But despite this doll being locked away, you can still visit it and take some seriously creepy photographs of it, as many have. Next up is Faces. This is one seriously unexplained photograph. One girl was taking a regular photo for a MySpace profile back in 2007. She got her friend to snap the picture quite near to her university campus near a bush. But when she came to upload the photo, she noticed something scary behind her. In the bush were 2 scary smiling faces looking right at the camera. The girl didn't see them at the time, so she freaked out and called her friend. Her friend who took the photo said she had no memory of seeing anyone in the bush, let alone 2 people. It's unknown whether these guys are smiling because they're joking around or whether they're being sinister and spying on the girl. She was determined to know what was going on.
Even if they are like playing around. Sometimes you gotta know when not to play around. That's one of them times where you come off as this predator. That right there is predatorish.
So she put the image on Facebook and asked if the guys went to her university. But despite thousands of people seeing the photo, the 2 men are still unidentified and...
Look at them. Why are their faces touching each other? And then why are they're trying to sneak around and just be present around her? Like, yeah, bro. That's very predatorish. Like they're gonna be on To Catch a Predator soon. There's probably one of the guys from To Catch a Predator.
And the photograph remains unexplained. Next up,
they look like they'll drive 40, 50, or 100 miles to meet up with a 13 or 12-year-old. Just one more look at them.
The image on Facebook and asked if the guys went to her university. But despite thousands of people seeing the photo, the 2 men are still unidentified.
They're still unidentified, y'all. So I know one of y'all, this is one of y'all relatives, man. Turn them in. Listen, turn them in.
And the photograph remains unexplained. Next up is something in the ceiling. This is a very old vintage photo, which I guess kind of makes it even creepier. And what's more, this is a family photo, and
y'all got me still looking behind my back, bro.
Despite what people think, we all know from before that they can be scary. This family back in the 1930s took a family photo. It was of a grandmother, a mother, and her 2 sons. They put the camera on a timer and then posed for the photo. They expected to get a nice image back from the photo developer, but this really wasn't the case. It appeared that a body was falling from the ceiling in the image. The people in the photo claimed there was nobody else there and that nothing odd happened at the time. They investigated their home and even took ceiling boards out to check the roof if somebody or something was up there. But there wasn't, and the image still remains unexplained.
Yo, what does that look like? Like old school, like maybe like slave type, like they may be living in a house that may have had slaves in it, and the slaves were treated, you know how they were treated, and the souls were never really at rest. Look at this, man. Why else would something upside down hanging be trying to photobomb your picture like that? Heck nah. See, and that's why I don't like whenever you house shopping and the houses is like really, really old, I'm like, nah. No, you don't know what took place, what heinous acts or different things. No, give me something that was built. Not saying these days that it ain't some craziness going on, but nothing like you would hope, nothing like this. That's what I'll say. You would hope. This is the type of scary vibes this give off to me.
Some say it was a smudge made when the image was being processed, but
get out.
Others say this is the spirit of someone who used to live in the home before the family did. Coming up next is Slenderman. We all know the woods can be one of 2 things, beautiful or scary, and one country known for its creepy woods is Russia. These students found this out the hard way. They went to what is known as the Lost Forest in Russia. This isn't because the forest is lost, but many people who go in there never find their way out. Because of this, many people use string to find their way back. Anyway, they were walking around near it and exploring when they decided to take a photo of themselves in the woods. They put it on social media, and after a few hours, their friend commented saying, "What's that thing in the background?" At first, they were baffled until they looked behind them in the image and saw a tall figure. Some think this is an oddly shaped tree stump in the forest, but others say this is the real life version of the Slenderman, which is a popular creepypasta. What do you think this mysterious creature could be? Check out the
something that they need to get away from is what it could be.
poll in the top right corner to vote for the creepiest image. I think it's gotta be the thing in the ceiling, because I have no idea what that is. As I said before, guys, be sure.
Yeah, I would definitely vote that too. My bad. I would definitely vote that too. The thing dangling or hanging from the ceiling, he said the same thing I said, bro. It looks like something that may have previously taken place. You know what I'm saying? That like something happened to someone there in that house, and you never know. A realtor ain't gonna disclose that information to you. No, they want a commission. They're gonna keep that away from you. No, you gotta really like do your town research to figure out what took place, what heinous or different things happened in this town that this town is trying to cover up and keep a secret. You know what I mean? On some Friday the 13th type stuff. Feel me? So listen, man, y'all get at me in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think of this video. And leave a like, share the video, subscribe, and stick around and stay tuned to the next reaction of my peace. Y'all stay solid. Hey.